darlings, welcome to another broadcast of The Curious Mind of Raquel. I am your favorite mermaid mystic. I'm so happy that you're here. Today's broadcast is going to be all about how I have been able to manifest money and be abundant financially, because obviously, I'm going to have to give you my backstory. We hear about these particular, say for example, you see a video on YouTube and I want you to understand the clickbait. I don't want to give false hope to people, lead them on a vicious trail of not manifesting their particular desires, especially when it comes to money. So now what I want you to understand is, from the time that I was married and had my 4 children, I was 26 years old by the time I had my 4th child. So that's very prominent and very normal when you're a Mormon in the Mormon church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a very normal behavior for women to get married very, very young, 18, and have all of their children the time before 30. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. And so I also wanted to be a stay-at-home mom because I just thought that it was very important to train and rear the children with wonderful, wonderful moral compass, as well as be, a very spiritually directed child. I would do bits here and there of work because I would get my certifications or my degrees, like my interior design degree came from online, but it's still, my dad's a general contractor, and he's also, owned his own construction company and built many of the beautiful buildings in this particular town too. And also, so he knows loads about like bricking and welding, and like he's like literally a John of all trades. Like he's a jack of all trades. John is his name, but John of all trades, because he knows a little bit about everything. Like I believe it was very average and very normal for me because I grew up in a home where I was always working. Dad had his architecture table, downstairs in his smithy where he did all his woodworking and all of that when I was a real young girl. And so I was always around tools and saws and doing all of those sorts of things. And so the interior aspect of it, that's why it's probably so easy for me to, do the things that I do in the cottage, hanging trim and doing drywall and all of that. So it's a very natural thing for me. So I can literally do all of those things. It's not like I'm, sketching it up and then I've got to have a contractor do it for me. Now, some of the things I don't like to do just because it makes I'm not so proficient in it. So therefore I would rather not do it, but it's not that I can't do it. Do you understand? And I know I say that quite often. Do you understand? Maybe it's because I had children so young for so many years, that I was always, explaining things to them. And so now I just have a tendency, maybe that's kind of come back again. I don't know. But anyway, that's part of my nature. I had someone want to know how that I became abundant, because here's the thing, I will be completely honest with you. It took me until about 3 years ago to really solidify and know and understand that I was always going to be abundant, because I struggled with finances and money beliefs for my entire life. It wasn't that I couldn't create money or manifest money, because I could always manifest large chunks of money, like $50,000 in one go, or $15,000 in one snap. But my problem, this was always would revert back to not sustaining that. And this is why I'm a massive advocate. And you darling, dear mermaid hearts, know that I'm so much an advocate for creating new beliefs. So listening and imprinting those and rewiring your brain at night whilst you're sleeping. Because I could never, and I'm only saying this, and the reason that I am such an advocate for teaching this is because I could never sustain it. And this is the problem that I've always said, that I've talked or I've spoken about for the last 3 years on my channel, because people that want to manifest these things, yes, it's lovely that you don't have resistance in maybe this particular area where money is involved. It's imperative that we recognize, if you do not rewire the subconscious mind, which means imprinting new beliefs into your subconscious, every day you maneuver your life off the dictates of your conscious mind during the day, the wake hours, okay? So you might be able to manifest money, or you see these YouTubers on here and it's like, oh, I manifested 100,000 subscribers, or I manifested 80,000 on the Instagram. Yeah, but there's a difference between manifesting that and sustaining that particular, like maybe, like for example, I'm manifesting 1.5 million followers on Instagram, okay? Now, I'm also manifesting 100,000 followers on YouTube. But I have a particular way that I want to manifest, because I'm not manifesting for today, for all of the people that are watching my channel. I don't care about that. If it takes me longer to manifest that because I'm sustaining that audience, I'm having a massive influence because of my platform, that I can help people every single day, and I'm putting out good content, and I'm encouraging and helping people and helping women and children and helping folks to change permanently, to have a transformational voyage, instead of this quick fix. You know, it's kind of like hitting you, getting that quick fix of, you want the actual version, you want the validation of the world to see that you are a master manifester. And what me, your favorite mermaid mystic, I want you to understand is that that is not necessarily so much important to me as sustaining that. Because as I've spoken before, I know many people that have manifested, going viral on YouTube, or going viral on TikTok, or the Instagram, or the social media thing, okay? But what I want you to understand is that kind of thing is not long standing. It's not sustainable. And the reason that I'm want to make this so clear is, it's the same thing with making loads amount of money. If you make a certain amount of money, like, oh, I want to manifest $1,000 a day, say for example, that's what I would manifest, $1,000 a day, and you're manifesting that, but I'm also changing my subconscious mind beliefs. I'm changing my subconscious beliefs. So when I manifest $1,000 a day, and that is seen in the 3D in my life every single day, it's not going to cap off and not be there. Because what happens is, people will manifest a particular thing, and then what starts to happen, if they have not impressed the new belief into the subconscious mind by sleeping with new beliefs on, they will self-sabotage. They will either do that, or they'll start having fear, which will have a massive impact on the fact, this is kerosene smut, have a massive impact on them having fear, because they're going to revert back to it. So you might see people still getting, say for example, they have loads of people on the YouTube, and they've got loads of subscribers, and they've still got a decent amount of people, that are watching the channel, and maybe they get 20,000 views or whatever for a particular video or something like that. But what happens is, because they're fear driven, because that is not going to be able to sustain you long term. So then they have to resort to other things, which is going to be another fear driven mark that I want you to understand. And this is why these YouTubers will say, okay, well, now I'm going to sell classes. Now I'm going to sell coaching. Now I'm going to sell manifesting coaching emails. Now I'm going to do, because, or now I'm going to sell merch. Now I'm going to do this. And like, you should be so excited, like join my Facebook group because now you can join this for $45 and I'm going to help you. This is why, because they have not sustained, they don't know how else, they have not subconsciously in their mind, they do not have that belief ingrained and rewired in their subconscious mind. So what is going to happen? They're going to have to do all these other tactics, and it's driven by fear, because now maybe they have a bigger lifestyle. Maybe they have something to prove, something I've got to keep validating these other people that I think that I'm so much better than, that, you know, because I can manifest and I'm going to teach them how to do it. I'm not saying that that's not wonderful. I'm not saying that that's not a good thing, because I'm sitting here doing the exact same thing for you. However, what I will not do is I will never alter my character, my moral compass, or my integrity in order to make a quick buck. And I'm not going to do it at the expense of other people either. And that's just not me. I'm not going to do it. So if my Instagram doesn't blow up, you know, it probably is going to blow up once the reality show hits the air and all of that sort of thing. And that's perfectly fine. Like, but I don't care, because in my mind, I've already created that belief that I don't care what the 3D, it hasn't caught up yet. But the new belief that is impressed in my mind is that I'm relaxed. I already have 1.5 million people on Instagram. I really don't. But in my mindset, my belief is, and it will have to catch up. It has to catch up. When I say the reason that I'm such an advocate for that sleeping with beliefs at night is that, no, you're not going to see me look like other people that are doing this exact thing and sharing videos about law of assumption and personal development and all of that, like time management and stuff, right? I mean, obviously, you know me, I do a little bit of everything because I'm working on the 4 dimensions. If you go to my blog, you know what that's all about. But anyway, I'm getting a new blog, a new website, and so it's still in the works, but I think we're very close to it, because like I said, I've got commerce, I've got a little mercantile store, and so I'll have all sorts of fun bits and bobs on there that you could purchase if you want to, my artistry, my books, you know, things of that nature. That's how I want to remain, is true to myself. Like, I don't feel that there's anything wrong with asking, or if you want to donate, you know, for a cup of tea, or to that be a requirement, because, and maybe that's, I don't know, that's just, I don't feel morally right in doing that. So I'm not going to do that, because where my income comes in is from, like, my blog. I get sponsorships for products, or I sponsor products on my blog and write about them and all of that. And so that will be my platform. And you know, the more that you have traffic, my blog has went viral, and my page views and all of that. This is an example. Now you think, well, that's not talking about abundance, Raquel. Yeah, absolutely it is. So if you've ever listened to Abraham Hicks, I used to listen to what, I don't know, 100,000 hours for many, many years, going to her workshops and all of that sort of thing. But what I found was it was not such an active way of manifesting, because I always felt like there was something still, like, because I grew up in religion, so I always feel as though I don't need an advocate in betwixt me and my higher self, the God, the collective, the great creator is what I call it, you know, whatever you want to call it, the universe, source, whatever. But I was no longer interested in feeling as though I had to wait on things, because I am the God of my reality. So once I found Neville, I was very much a first person type of individual realizing we are gods. The essence of God is within us. So there's nothing that we cannot manifest with the belief that we know that we can do it. Obviously, we are mortals. So being a mortal is the hindrance, okay? So the only requirement for a manifestation is faith, focus equals manifestation. I want you to remember that. You could put it on your ice box if you wanted to. Faith plus focus equals manifestation. So that is the only requirement for that. And how we discover and create new beliefs is we must re-impress by reworking and rewiring our brain. Because when we grew up in our circumstances and all of that, we learned all of these absolutely nonsensical type of beliefs that were actually hindrance to our growth as individuals. So we have to go back in. It's like a computer. You've got to rewire it with the right stuff in it. And that's all beautiful things, you know, with a wonderful self-concept. But anyway, back to what Abraham used to teach. I'm sure that Abraham or Esther still teaches this, but is teaching the fact that you must understand that, say, for example, you've got things on your hand and it's love, abundance, new house, and a new job. That's being bold, okay? Well, if you're wanting to manifest money and you think, I've got to focus on the money, I've got to focus on the money, I'm manifesting money. What you're really doing is manifesting money, but you're also manifesting love and a house and a new job, because that is the same as all of these things. So if you have a good and proper belief about money, you're going to have it about all these other things as well, because the essence of the manifestation is the same. Because if you're thinking abundance, you're thinking abundance not just in money. Abundance means abundance in the beautiful house, abundance in the beautiful job, abundance. It's just a word, that's all. And we don't need to categorize things. People categorize their manifestations as if like, oh, I got to hone in and focus on that. No, you don't. You can take care of all of it in one full swoop. But people don't understand the law the way that, I think I understand it very, very well, especially being in, 42 years of different religions, understanding the concepts basically the same. But what I'm saying is, until I created new beliefs about money and about the concept, the self-concept of I'm desiring of that, I could never sustain it. Could I manifest money? Constantly. But I would have dry spells. It would be on and off, on and off. Have you ever noticed that? If you don't have a good belief system and it's not in there, you're going to constantly falter back. Same thing with love. Think about that. It's not just about money. You got a good relationship, you manifested your SP back into your life. You don't have a good relationship or you don't have a proper belief about that relationship, guess what you're going to do? Struggle, and it's going to falter. You're going to go back. Something's going to happen if you do not impress a new belief about it. Sorry, I'm not meaning to be yelling at you and scolding you, my darlings. But that is what happens. I'm telling you this from experience. I'm not telling you this like I'm sitting here on the throne knowing everything I know, because I haven't experienced it. I've experienced it, so I know and understand this is how the law works. Understand, when you see these lovely manifestation coaches and they can show you visually what they've manifested, that's wonderful. But let's just hope that they can sustain it. If they have not impressed new beliefs, they won't. And you might not know about it, and you might know about it. You can see people that kind of fall off, like they manifested and then it kind of just went down, went back and faltered. They're not doing as good as they used to. It's kind of slowed the pitch. And this is what happens because people have not created new beliefs. I will pound it into your lovely little mermaid heads until we're all mermaids and we've created new beliefs. Because listen, we're mermaids, so we have to adapt to understanding how to live on land. We're used to living in such a high vibration as real mermaids, right? We live in the highest of vibration. So when we are put on earth and we're landlocked mermaids, we've got to learn to adapt to the environment. We've got to learn to adapt to this new body because we have stems now. You know, we've got legs. And so I want you to know that this is how the abundance manifestation works, but works long term, because I want you to have your treasure chest for the rest of your life, not just what looks good for your friends today or tomorrow and next week, you know. I want you to sustain it. I want you to be able to live every dream that you've ever had. And that's very important for me because I love you and I care about you, because I know what it feels like not to be living my dreams. I know what that feels like. And I don't want you to have to experience it. So why not listen to your grandmummy or your favorite mermaid mystic and just start from the get-go? Let's get it on. Like, why we him-hawing around. Is that what they say? Yeah, him-hawing. I think him-hawing. That's kind of hard for me to say with a British accent a bit. Him-hawing. But that's, you know, what my southern family says. What you him-hawing about. And but anyway, so I hope that you enjoyed this video, and as always, most affably yours till my next swim. Cheers, darlings. Toodle pip.